Hi, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this next Zindi Weekend's Hackathon. Um, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Paul Kennedy. I'm Zindi's Community and Communication Manager, and I'm really excited to be launching this third Zindi Weekends event, focusing on SDG 5, which is equality, gender equality. For those of you who've joined these events before, you'll know that Zindi Weekends is a 2-day long hackathon. So the hackathon has just gone live now, and we will be closing it on Sunday evening. That gives you 2 days to work on the challenge. The prize is $300. You can work on the challenge and get stuck in and hopefully learn some things as you do it. So I'm going to hand over to a Zindi data scientist to present a starter notebook. We don't, unfortunately, have somebody to talk through the challenge today. But I'd like to first start with a little bit of background information about the challenge and where this work comes from. So the data set that we're going to be using for this challenge is a collection of tweets, and it is a sentiment analysis, or a tweet classification challenge, rather, excuse me. And the data set comes from a challenge that we ran earlier this year. We ran it in, in the first quarter of this year, we ran the challenge, and we asked the Zindi community to help us collect data sets on gender-based violence in Africa. As you may know from this or from other sources, gender-based violence data is extremely thin on the ground all over the world, but particularly in Africa, where there's a real culture of silence and people may be afraid of reporting it, or it's just considered to be normal and not a problem that needs to be reported. And of course, without data, it's very difficult to develop solutions for gender-based violence in Africa. So our interest in this was to help start a conversation, to help build up some data sets, and we had a really fantastic response from the community. We had more than 200 people enroll and submit data sets of various sorts. The data set that won the challenge was submitted by Lawrence Moruye, who is one of our leading data scientists on the platform. He's also a Zindi ambassador, and this was a collection of tweets that have been scraped from Twitter on the subject of gender-based violence. He unfortunately couldn't be here to present the data set that he has collected, so we're going to do that on his behalf, but we want to say a really great, really sincere thank you to Lawrence for his contributions to this really important topic. So I'm now going to hand over to a Zindi data scientist to go through a bit more detail of what the data set looks like, how you might go about making your first submission, and basically walking through a starter notebook. I did want to share a trigger warning. A lot of the information in this data set is about acts of violence, rape, assault, that kind of thing towards vulnerable parties, particularly women. So please do be aware that that is the nature of the data set that you're going to be working with. I'm going to add Amy now. Hey, Amy, are you there? No. Is Rose going to be presenting? Okay. Hey, Rose, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Paul.
Okay, I can't get sound from you either. That's a problem. Let me just try and fix that. because we've been having sound issues, unfortunately. Can you say something? I'm just trying to change some settings.
Hi, Paul.
No, still nothing. Let me see something. I just want to test something out. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with us while we deal with some technical difficulties here. I'm gonna try a few things. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. Seems like maybe the problem was on my side.
Yes. If you put Rose on,
Amy,
you should be able to hear her.
Seems like maybe the problem was on my side.
Yes. If you put Rose on, you should be able to hear her. This is a bit of a chaos situation we've got going on here. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through the starter notebook. So I'm using Colab. Colab's a great free platform to use the data on. I'm just going to walk you through the challenge before I show you Colab. So again, just noting the trigger warning. Data set collected by Lawrence. The evaluation for this challenge is accuracy. You can make 50 submissions and 150 over the next 3 days. Timeline, this competition closes at midnight on Sunday. If you go to the data, you'll find a starter notebook, sample submission, test, and train CSV files. So what I've done is I've downloaded these full files. I've opened them in my starter notebook on Colab, and now I'm going to walk through it with you. First, we install the Natural Language Toolkit, NLTK. If you do any natural language processing, any tweet classification, NLTK is the Python library that is the go-to library. Next, we import our normal pandas, NumPy, and Seaborn. That's just for viewing the data. And then we import our machine learning libraries. If we open up view our train set, we have a tweet ID, we have the tweet content, and then we have the type of violence. There are 5 different types of violence. Sorry. And then we have our test set that just has the tweet ID and the tweet. The objective of this challenge is to predict the tweet label without using a keyword search. So don't do a keyword search. Let's do some exploratory data analysis. So over here we have the different types of violence. As you can see, sexual violence is the highest number of tweets. So when making a model, it's very easy just to predict that it's only sexual violence. But this is where the nuance of the problem comes in, and that we're trying to, along with detecting sexual violence, we want to pinpoint other types of violence. This can be used in policy and to track where violence is happening. Over here, we're going to start creating our model. What we do is we take our train set and we split our train set. We do this to create an inference set just to see how our test set is doing, how our training is doing. Because we're working with NLP data sets, we do something called count vectorize. It's a nice link over here. Here we go. So count vectorize counts the number of words that are in per tweet. And instead of looking at the words, you look at the numbers. However, this can get, it can favor tweets that are longer. So we use this function over here, transform, to look at the frequencies instead of the length of the tweets. There are many different classification models you can use. Over here, we've used a naive Bayes multinomial model. Again, there's a lovely link that walks you through, and there's extra reading. So over here, we train our model. We then predict it on the test set. For this challenge, we're using accuracy, so it's quite nice. We're going to import it straight from sklearn. We're going to do our accuracy. And here we get an 88% accuracy on our train set. So this, when you submit it to Zindi, you will get a different score, but your model manages to predict 88% on the data already available. 88% seems really amazing, but we need to remember that the data is highly imbalanced, as you saw that most tweets are about sexual violence. If we had to open up this, you see that only 3 forms of violence are predicted, which is physical, emotional, and sexual, but we know that there are 5 categories. So when making your submission, it would be great if we could see all 5 of those violence categories showcased. Now, to make our submission, we have a sample submission. This shows you what your submission needs to look like. Read it in. You'll see that these tweet IDs are the same as your test tweet IDs, so they match. Over here, we're using our model CLF to predict. We get our predictions. And over here, we see that our model has only predicted 2 types of violence, physical and sexual violence. So we'll need to do some tweaking to make sure that we can see all 5 different types of violence. We're setting the type to the test prediction. Over here we have our baseline. I've previously run this. I do have my submission and downloads. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click submit. I'm going to drop a file, and here we have our baseline submission. Just comment this as baseline submission. I love it when I'm the first on the leaderboard. Great, so over here we have, oh no, I'm not the first on the leaderboard, congrats, convolutional nets. So over here I get a score of 51%, so that's a 51% accuracy. As you remember in our starter notebook, we got an 88% accuracy, and on our leaderboard we're getting a 51% accuracy. That just shows that the distribution of the train and test is a little bit different, and so you need to take that into account when creating your models. If you have any questions, please post them on the YouTube channel or on the discussion board, and a Zindi data scientist will reach out to you. I'm going to hand over to Paul if he's still there. Otherwise, the competition is now launched, and good luck to everyone and have fun.
Hi everyone, and sorry about the confusion. The technical difficulties were entirely my own. Yes, so thanks very much to Amy and to Rose for being here. As Amy said, we are here to help answer your questions. So if there's anything that you would like to know, you're free to ask questions right now in the YouTube chat, or use our discussion forum. we'll leave this this webinar, the stream open for a few more minutes. So if there's any really pressing questions or any issues, we can address them right away. Otherwise, I will wish you all very good luck and hope to see you all on the leaderboard. Thanks very much. Hi, Amir. I see that you have a question. The question is, I have one, is there a way we can find the annotation guidelines that we use for creating the data set? I'm going to ask Amy to join and answer that. Please just give me a second. Or Hey Rose, can you answer that, or do we need Amy to answer us?
Amy is going to give an answer.
Thanks.
Hi. So the dataset was collected by Lawrence by using the Twint package from Python. Then he created a model to do the classification and then followed it up with manual classification. So your job is to create a similar model, but make it better than his.
Amy, do we have his models packaged anywhere? Is that on our GitHub or anything like that?
No, so we do not have that. That's half the trick of this challenge.
Good. Just checking. I mean, I hope that answers your question.
Something that hasn't been mentioned yet, but this challenge, this is a hackathon that's open for 3 days, and the prize money is $300. This challenge will reopen on Monday at 1 a.m. And that will stay open for 3 months, and that's for 2,000 Zindi points. So good luck to everyone who's doing this 3-day challenge and getting a foot up.
Thanks, Amy. Okay, everyone, it looks like there aren't too many more questions, so I'm going to wrap the stream up there. Thanks very much for joining us, and see you on the leaderboards. Cheers.